Hey, what's up, everyone? I just wanted to come quickly and talk a little bit about, for those of you who follow me on Twitter, the message that I left, or messages regarding the situation with the formula shortage. I don't like for people to misinterpret and make up things, because it seems with me, because I'm such a nice person, that tends to be what happens, right? So I have to elaborate on everything, and it's gotten me a bit perturbed. What I'm saying is, women are so insecure about themselves sometimes in the African American community. It's not just our community, but we're internalizing insecurities from a number of different areas. How we look, we're dealing with male misogyny, where we're questioning things about ourselves. Just the very thought of someone like Kevin Samuels being able to infiltrate any type of normative environment where there are people who think logically. I mean, that in itself was a joke for him to do that, because he knew that male misogyny in black communities is on the rise. And anybody who's done any type of education in the matter knows that male misogyny typically is associated with racism in black communities, because it's actually white male pathology that they're internalizing, right? So you're internalizing white male privilege, everything that white men have that they want, they're internalizing it. And you're looking at him and saying, well, he's treating me bad, maybe I deserve it. And then you internalize it as a black woman, which would be absolutely absurd, because you're both basically insecure about yourself and internalizing white male supremacy, right? So looking at the situation, it was an experiment, in my opinion, to see if he could actually get people to realize what's going on. I'm not saying that by any means black men don't have a way of expressing themselves, but I think that dealing with an emasculation of black men has been an issue that's ongoing in every form of academia for as long as I can remember, right? And we don't know how to address it. No one knows how to address it. So now they're taking advantage of the situation because no one really can deal with it. But as far as the situation with women working together, they were scared of white feminism for so long. Everything with white feminism that you can think of that deals with helping other women, they quickly dismissed and moved it over to the gay, LGBTQI, and even transgender agenda, right? And what you have to understand is there's different types of feminism. Black feminism is something that has been called third wave feminism. It can be radical feminism. It can be several different types of feminism within itself. And you don't have to be LGBTQIA. The acronym is hard to get out. LGBTQIA. If they add one more letter, right? I always say that's crazy. You don't have to support transgenderism. I'm actually a black feminist who does not support transgender women necessarily automatically being called women and being invoked into any type of feminism, because it takes the woman out of woman. And I don't think that being a cisgender person, I'm going to be someone who is discriminating against transgender people by saying that. That's the first thing. The second thing, because you're so fearful, and this is the agenda, I think, verbatim, as far as what's going on, because you're so fearful of that and working together, plus you're fearful, whether you want to say it or not, of black men rejecting you because you help other women. So patriarchy basically is scaring the crap out of you, right? So something happens in the black community, which is going to affect the black community. You wonder why I say that this formula shortage is primarily African American communities, because it affects low income communities more so than what it does any other. And I don't care if all these women are out of formulas, right? It's going to be the survival of the fittest. Who can afford to pay $300 extra a month when they got rent or mortgage due? And whether you have WIC or whether you have, whatever type of finances, out is out. You're still going to have to find a way to get it. Whether you get it from Canada, whether you get it from online in your Facebook group. I mean, there's a lot of different things that you're not going to have. If you do find it in Facebook, right, you're going to need that $200 to $300 to pay for that formula extra. Are you going to pay rent, mortgage? You're going to pay for formula. And that's a terrible position for anyone to be in, especially an African-American mom. And a lot of us are single moms, right? Nobody wants to get put out of their place because they had to buy baby formula. And the person they need to pay doesn't take whatever form of payment they have. The lady was ranting about food stamps or something. She doesn't know what she's talking about. The video I posted. There is something called WIC, which women with lower income may qualify for, but you may be paying for formula out of your pocket. And if you're paying for formula out of your pocket, you still can't find it. And that's really going to screw you. I mean, people don't know, they don't have children, how much formula actually costs. And I think that we need to start working together as Black women. We're so busy distrusting one another, worried about patriarchal thought and what this person thinks. And I heard this about that person, and gossiping and being immature. You left the people behind that were helping you. Nobody wants your attention. You can do what you want to do. But if you want to do the right thing, then I think you need to start listening. What are you going to do in the future if this happens? I don't know. Hold on a second. Let me do part 2 because it's going to be a pretty long video. Part 3. So you can't do one more thing. You can't do breastfeeding. You know, it's just too much for you. I think that we need to address these things with the correct people and make sure they be held accountable. Did anyone go to some of your government officials, to the Surgeon General, to find out if he has some resources available? Everyone's panicking because no one's doing anything to help women. And you will notice when it comes to women in the United States, they won't help you. It's ridiculous. And everyone's looking for resources. You're looking for your leader, which is what the point of this whole conversation was. And the one thing she said around in that video, you're looking for your leaders and there aren't any. You know why? Because you disrespected your leaders. And the people that you follow are the people with the money. You want someone to have money, to have power, to come at you and say, I already have these things, which is an illusion. And I'm going to help you do this, 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 and this. And to be honest, everyone to a certain extent wants that. But you have to make sure that you allow for your society to grow those folks. They're not going to come organically, not in the way this society is depicted today. No way. They planned a lot of these people that are in these top positions and told them, don't help Black women. You think I'm crazy. That you might see some of these powerful people, these performers or whatever you're following. How about you ask one of them? The Beyoncés, the whoever else is coming up in the music business. Hey, give Black women some help. You're so busy following, I'm not even going to mention her name, Dum Dum B, we'll call her that. And something like this happening, you ain't gonna sit up there and say, we need help, say something about the formula situation. I think that the major problem we have is understanding as Black women, we are lacking resources. And the only way we're going to get together on that particular subject, even if you hate each other, you understand you work together for a common cause. Now, I don't anticipate Black women hating one another. You could be anti-Africa, you could be anti-Blackness, you could be hating light-skinned people and be a colorist and hate light-skinned women and all this kind of crap. Look, if you got issues, at the end of the day, what's going to happen is you're going to be taken down. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you know. I don't care how much money you have. And then you're going to be looking at one another like, how did this happen? You know how it happened. And that's what I'm pissed off about. Women are dying. There's a Black femicide. There's Black women being sexually assaulted, and you're not doing a damn thing about it. You don't care about the kids now at this point. They barely have formula. And as she's panicking, I don't know, in a couple of weeks, maybe they'll have it straight. But what if it happens again? And let it make you think, resonate on that. Why are you in this situation now? Who are you going to call on? There is something called Black Mamas Matter. You can try them. They're a coalition, but I don't know if they necessarily have any resources for you either. They really work on public policy a lot. So, yeah. I don't know. I think that you're so insecure that you push people out of your life so darn much. And when it comes time for someone to help you, that person is so busy defending themselves against all the violence that you're participating in, some of you, that they cannot help anyone but themselves. And it's frustrating. You want to worry about how much money somebody got, what so-and-so said about such and such, what gender identity somebody is, what sexuality they are. If you want to do that, sure. Everyone, to a certain extent, I don't gossip, but, wants to have knowledge about somebody else, whatever. But do that in your spare time. But also do what you need to do as a black woman, because even if you are, just like I was with Kevin Samuels, somebody said, people are saying, well, I don't wish death on anyone, which is what I said about him, because I don't care. That was apathy. But even if you're protecting your own karma, which basically is karmic debt at this point, we're just trying to get rid of it so that we can actually ascend and go where we'd like to go. Whatever your belief systems are, you still have karmic debt, and you're not trying to add to it. I'm thinking about my own preservation. So, even if you, to a certain extent, are just doing it to protect your own, just do something to say something about these situations, about abortion rights, even if you disagree with it. Because you know what? That kid that dies, that had that illegal abortion, that woman that gets, raped, that can't get an abortion, that 14-year-old that gets sexually assaulted, molested even at your church, and we all know this happens, that cannot get an abortion. And then you thinking about these age groups, if they keep the kids, it's worse. Or women who can't afford children, it's worse. Because then they'll come down with the whole social services system thing and all the white supremacist things, and then you're going to say the same thing. How did we get in this situation? Because you saw it coming and you did nothing. It is a very racist, sexist, intersectional system that is coming for you. You can still be in denial all you want, but the truth is, it's time for you to get it together as black women and get over yourselves and get it done. Anyway, I'm out. I'll talk to you guys a little bit later. Bye. Okay, so part 2. So you've decided to divest from any movement that actually helps black women. You've decided to do your own thing. You want to dress nice. You want to have your clothes nice. You want to have the nice car, the nice house. You want to run behind the dude. You don't care what happens in any type of movement. You're just basically going to stand by and watch. You don't have kids. You're one of these 20-something people out here who don't have kids. You're completely shallow and you don't care. Let me tell you something. That apathy in the end is going to catch up with you. Because what's going to happen is eventually something that's affecting women, whether it be abortion or the lack of access to abortion, whether it be lack of formula, because all of these are attacks on women. I don't for 1 minute think that it was coincidence that they knew that there was a shortage of formula, right? And did not report on it, or at least warn women to let them know to stock up. I don't for 1 moment think that was an accident, because that's careless. We're giving billions to Ukraine, but we can't keep baby formula on the shelf. But eventually something is going to catch up with you that will be in your lane. You can't keep looking the other way and saying, oh, I'm shallow, it doesn't affect me. But we've got so many people like that right now. Nothing is being done. And on top of that, they're attacking people who are actually trying to help you. And I find that to be completely insane, completely insensitive, completely disrespectful. Completely ridiculous. It's like dealing with a psychopath who only wants help when they feel like they want it and the way they want it, and they're going to tell you you're going to do it that way or it won't be done any other type of way. You've believed every false prophet. You've believed everyone in front of you that's lied to you. And I understand that the younger generation also is a little insecure at this point. I think that they're way more insecure than what we were. But It's a matter of understanding that you are insecure about certain things. And if you don't stand up for yourselves, you're going to have nothing. You can't respect your elders, but you want your elders to carry you. It doesn't work that way. And it doesn't work that way with abortion. It doesn't work that way with your right to understand that women don't have to be assaulted. You don't stand up for other women. You're so busy. When things happen to black women, you turn the other cheek. And I'm not talking about in a good way either. You don't want to help anybody. Sometimes you even participate in it. Sometimes you help black men. I don't know. I think that the situation is going to get so dire that you're going to be affected in one way or the other unless things change. As far as something petty like people not understanding that women can't always breastfeed for various reasons, health reasons, adoption. I adopted my son. I could have took some lactation pills, but that's a different story, and it may or may not have worked. Not everyone can breastfeed, okay? Period. Don't stop telling these women you should go home and breastfeed. Yes, they've been telling women in public health that if they can for many, many years. If you can, and that's common sense. And if you can, and you're going to work, nobody wants to be leaking all over the place. That's also an undue burden on women, especially those with lower income. If you're riding the bus or getting a ride or dropping kids off the babysitter, trying to get to work, doing whatever you're doing, you're going to have to pump extra. Suppose you got to have the money for the pump. You got to have the bottles. Okay, you got to have time when you get off at night, whatever time you get off, and make sure you stay up late, exhausted, pumping that milk. These are not things that, especially if you're a single parent, are going to be easy. They're going to be very, very difficult. And you need to have accountability in public health to have these measures there for these women. If you say breastfeed if you can, give them the pumps, give them the money for the pumps, give them the money for the bottles, and offer them classes to teach them how to breastfeed. Because that's just, that to me is not going to work. For you to say patronizingly, do this because you're a woman and that's what women do, or you're selfish, doesn't work that way. Okay, I'm not buying it. Nobody's buying it. I think that this is a sarcastic version of reality. Okay, people are patronizing women. You're already doing enough. And they're trying to make you feel like you're not doing enough if you don't do everything and go above and beyond. And if you're dealing with work, if you're dealing with family, you're dealing with health issues and you can't, you've adopted, you have a foster child, 90 million different reasons why you can't, you shouldn't have to explain that to anyone. That's sexist for someone to have said that. And for people who are out here thinking that, it doesn't affect me, I got plenty of money, blah, 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 I'm not, they shouldn't be poor anyway, or something like what that lady was saying in the video about food stamps. Food stamps has nothing to do with formula. I think she meant WIC, but with Women, Infant, and Children program, whatever, right? You need to know your stuff when you're talking a bunch of mess. When you're talking about the federal government right now, helping women, they aren't. And that's what she's talking about. Let's band together. Let's hurry up. She's always over the top with all her crap. You know what I'm saying? I guess she's supposed to be a Buddhist too, but whatever. I don't care. The thing is, we have to understand, we should have done this a long time ago. Now you want to panic when stuff starts happening. These people aren't playing. They are sexist to the core. They're trying to take away every single right that you could possibly have in your life. And we'll be on one of those movies on Netflix with hoods on and crap. I didn't even see The Handmaid's Tale, and I don't want to see it because I thought it was absolutely horrendous to even think about something like that. But these people are crazy. They're going to tell you how to raise your child. They're going to tell you if you don't do it this way, then this won't be available. And I understand that formulas sometimes have flaws. There's always a possibility there will be another flaw in the formula. There's a possibility there was a flaw before in the formula. It could have been anything in the formulas that we've been given. But, and I'm not too fond of soy. The thing is, if you don't have another option, or if you just are really doing everything that you can and you just cannot do one more thing, right?